so that Mrs. Mahurkar, yeah, I'll say Kundaji because Mahurkar is a very long name. So that
मुझे सब कुंदाजी ही बोलते हैं. Nobody calls me Mahurkar.
So that Kundaji is also updated. So what we did was, we started with this. I'm not putting anything from my end. This is what we read as given by Guruji in his book. He started with a question: what is the goal of human life? And after going through, he arrived at the conclusion, and we both of us discussed that in and through all our pursuits, we desire happiness alone. I have quoted him from the book. Then he reposes a question: could we not give up this desire and remain in sorrow? I think that's a no-brainer to answer. That too is not possible. We cannot be happy being unhappy. So happiness is the only pursuit. ठीक है, आप जो दो बोट्स की बात कर रहे हैं, you see, you are chasing happiness only. Keep that in mind. Huh? Now, we don't want only happiness. We want unlimited maximum happiness. And not only maximum, but we want unlimited eternal. So हिंदी में उसे जो कहते हैं परमानंद प्राप्ति. ठीक है. Now he says, goes one by one. He says, do you get this happiness in any place? Do we get it at any particular point of time? Do we get it in any object? Do we get it in any circumstance or oblique status? Do we get it with any people, person? Do we get it with any body, including yours? So, if you go through it, he has gone through each of them one by one, and he finds that if at all there is any, it is ephemeral, momentary. So, then he says there are two aspects of life. There is I, the experiencer, the subject, and the world of objects, emotions and thoughts. ठीक है, OET, which Gurudev used to call for short. So he discusses it and says the happiness is not an outside goal. There's a full page on this, so we'll not repeat it. And when we are riding two boats or two horses or whatever you call, we are trying to get happiness from the world, which doesn't have happiness actually. And we feel that we are getting happiness. So he says, if the happiness is not outside, in the world of objects, emotion, thoughts, and there are only two things, I, the experiencer, and the world of objects outside. So if it is not outside, then by Parishesh Nyaya, it has to be in I only. Happiness is there. Right? So this happiness that I am seeking, infinite bliss, I am that, and that is what I am seeking. This is very important.
Very clear.
This is the essence of the Vedas, the revelation of the great rishis. Okay. So now he says, if you are still not convinced that the happiness is not outside, then he is given the example of a person on having a deep sleep, getting up and saying, I had a very sound, good sleep, Anand aa gaya. So that happiness was not in any object. It was within you only. Now another thing he says is, everything tends to go to its own nature. He is giving the example. Its own nature. So he says, for instance, ice. It melts and becomes water. That is its basic nature. So we have also talked about what is nature, basic nature, जो हम बात करते थे कुंदा जी. अग्नि का धर्म क्या है? जलाना. So heat is the nature of fire. Sweetness is the nature of sugar. So he says everything goes back to its basic nature. So he says that what is our basic nature, inherent nature? He says unconditioned objectless happiness is our true own nature. Objectless happiness is our own true nature. There is no object in it. It is pure. आप ही हैं सच्चिद आनंद. There is no object in it. And we are time and again trying to go back to it. But through our ignorance, we are not going to our source, we are going to outside. यहाँ मुझे आनंद मिल जाएगा, वहाँ आनंद मिल जाएगा. But है वो, आप ही हो वो. Right? Now, there are two kinds of achievements, he says. One is praptasya prapti, which is getting what you already have, and another is apraptasya prapti, getting what you don't have. So if you get what you don't have, for that you need both knowledge and you need action. You don't have money, then you'll have to acquire the knowledge to make money, and then you have to work for it.
Yeah.
Whereas praptasya prapti, you don't require any action. You only require knowledge. You have got the key of the house in your pocket or tied to your dupatta or in a keychain which is hanging from your sari. You don't require action. You just need knowledge ki haan, it is with you only. So that is praptasya prapti. So he says knowledge of that self, that infinite bliss, is in that category of praptasya prapti. It is already with you. Only thing is you require knowledge. Right? Then he says in any knowledge, there are three actors or factors, whichever you may like to call. He's called it factors.
Yeah.
One is pramay, one is pramata, and one is prama. So Kundaji, you are familiar with it. So ये त्रिपुटी कहलाती है, and there are so many triputis like Jnata, Jnana, Jne. I am saying Jnata, it can be called Gyata, Gyan, Ge. In North India, that is the more prevalent pronunciation. South India, it is Jnata, Jnana, Jne. Drashta, Drishti, Drishya. So there are so many triputis. Basic thing remains the same. There is an object to be known as pramay. There is a knower of the object called pramata, and there is a means of knowing it, that is called pramana. Now, what are the common means of knowledge? Direct perception through your indriyas, sense of perception, or 5 organs of sense of perception. Then based on those, you have inference, that is called Anuman Praman. Anuman Praman, it has rained outside, the roads are wet, you have not seen the rain, but seeing the wet roads, you know it has rained. Or you see fire on a hill, you know that there is fire. Sorry, you see smoke on a hill, you infer there must be fire there. You can't see it, but then inference is that. And then Shabd Praman. So we gain knowledge by reading or hearing from people who have directly experienced a thing or heard about it. Both inference and word knowledge, Anuman and Shabd Praman, are based on direct perception. ठीक है? Direct perception. तो किसी ने तो देखा ही है ना, तो उसके देखने से हम मानते हैं कि भाई अब किसी ने तो देखा ही है कि आग जब होती है तो स्मोक होती है तो आग होती है. अगर किसी ने कभी ना देखा हो तो हम नहीं मानेंगे. So both inference and verbal testimony is based on somebody's experience whom we are relying upon. Now, as regards self-knowledge, the object to be known, pramey, which is the self, and the knower, pramata, which is also the self. That knowledge of the self which is to be known is not available by direct perception. So therefore it is not even available by Anuman. How can it be available by शब्द? क्योंकि किसी ने देखा ही नहीं. ठीक है ना? तो now he says, then how is it possible to get this knowledge? So he said the only way is by means of the Vedas. Vedas are known as praman for self-knowledge. Right? और वो भी शब्द कहलाते हैं इसलिए क्योंकि जिन्होंने डीप मेडिटेशन में उस ज्ञान को पाया, उन्होंने उस ज्ञान को शब्दों से ही दूसरों को दिया. So we say that Vedas are the praman and they are the shabd also. ठीक है? So this is what we did. Did we do anything else? And we said that Vedas are aparishe. They are not written by men. They are revelations of saints which have been codified by Ved Vyasji later on into 4 Vedas. Okay. Now we are starting. I think this is the place till we did.
Yes.
So we will start with the main topics of Vedas are Dharma, the laws governing the individual Jeev, the world Jagat and the creator Ishwar, their interrelationship, the laws of karma and so on, by which man can gain a successful worldly life. This part of Vedas is called Karma Kand and Upasana Kand. Right? Now, there are 3 terms used here: Jeev, Jagat, Ishwar, and their relationship. So, what is Jeev, Anu?
Individual.
Yeah, Jeev is that individual who's searching for that happiness.
Happiness, yeah.
So, Jeev and Atma. Atma is the self and Jeev is the one who's looking for that. Right?
Okay.
Though Jeev itself is the Atma.
Yeah.
It's not different from the Atma. तभी तो वो self है ना दोनों. But because of ignorance it's called Jeev.
Okay.
Huh? How it is ignorant despite being Atma, we'll come to it later on. क्योंकि आप क्या है कि आप ये कहोगे Atma is Brahma and how can it be ignorant and so forth. These are later questions.
Okay. Jeev and Atma are same thing.
Jeev. Jeev and Atma are same except that Atma, when it doesn't know itself and it is ignorant of its own divine nature, we call it Jeev.
Jeev.
भूला हुआ आदमी जीव है और जो आदमी को सब कुछ याद है वो आत्मा है. ठीक है? अच्छा, देन
जीवात्मा भी वही है ना, जीवात्मा.
हाँ, जब आप जीव लगा दोगे तो आत्मा को आपने जीव बना दिया. आत्मा के लिए आपको जीव आत्मा के लिए आपको जीव हटाना पड़ेगा.
ठीक है.
राइट? So, moment you say Jivatma, it means deluded soul.
You are ignorant.
Deluded soul. सीधी सी बात. Ignorant तो है ही है, but deluded also.
Deluded also.
जो ठीक है उसको ना देखना, जो गलत है उसको ठीक समझना इस delusion. 2 बोर्ड्स का यहाँ पे आपको समझना पड़ेगा अच्छी तरह से.
ठीक है.
Okay. So one part is dealing with dharma. The relationship between जीव, जगत एंड ईश्वर. ये आपका व्यवहार का भी सारा दायरा आ जाता है। और ये जो कर्म कांड कहता है ना, कर्म कांड क्या है, आपको कुछ चाहिए, और क्या चाहिए वो आपके धर्म के अनुसार है। धर्म के अनुसार का मतलब ये है, यू आर अ हाउस होल्डर, आपको उसके लिए घर को चलाने के लिए अर्थ चाहिए, यू नीड वेल्थ फॉर दैट। अब वेदास में आपको तरीका बताया है, इस तरीके से करें तो आपके यहाँ वेल्थ आ जाएगी।
ओके।
सो कर्म कांड क्या है, डूइंग दोज थिंग्स फॉर धार्मिक गेन, जो आप धर्म से आपको एक चाहिए, उसका वेद में व्याख्यान करा हुआ है। ठीक है। अब फॉर इंस्टेंस एक पुत्र कामेष्टि यज्ञ होता है, किसी को पुत्र की कामना है। अब ये जो है ये भी धार्मिक इसलिए है कि शास्त्रों में ऐसा लिखा गया है, कहा गया है कि भाई पुत्र होता है तो आपकी सद्गति होती है। अब ये लंबा कहानी है, इसके ऊपर नहीं जाएंगे हम। तो अब पुत्र का चाहना अशास्त्रीय नहीं है, राइट। तो उसके लिए भी अगर आप विधि विधान से जैसा वेदास में लिखा है वैसे आप करते हैं तो दैट इज धार्मिक परस्यूट ऑफ अर्थ और पुत्र, राइट। आई एम जस्ट गिविंग सम इलस्ट्रेशंस, ये कर्म कांड में क्या आता है, बट वेरी क्लियर, यू वांट, यू आर डूइंग समथिंग, यू विल गेट इट। करो पाओ, करो पाओ, राइट। और साथ में उपासना कांड। उपासना कांड क्या है कि भाई देवी देवताओं को आप प्लीज करो, उनकी पूजा करो, उनका पाठ करो, दे विल गिव यू योर डिजायर्ड ऑब्जेक्ट्स। अब देवी देवता इसके क्या है कि आपकी चक्षु के भी देवता हैं। सूर्य देवता आपके चक्षु के, आप सूर्य देवता की पूजा करते हो तो यानी कि आपकी आईसाइट अच्छी रहेंगी, राइट। दैट इज, आई मीन, देवी देवता का आप इस तरह से थोड़ा सा बिहाइंड द सीन जाके देखें तो योर डेली लाइफ गेट्स इम्पैक्टेड इफ यू propitiate these devis and devatas as per the Vedas. Done. बट ये सब कर्म कांड का है, धर्म बट धार्मिक है, अधार्मिक नहीं है। फिर आपका दूसरा है ब्रह्म के ऊपर। यहाँ आई विल जस्ट पॉज फॉर 1 सेकेंड। ब्रह्म इज इन हिंदी और संस्कृत, ब्रह्मन इज यूज्ड इन इंग्लिश। If you write in English Brahma, then nobody will understand it. You have to write that N at the end. Brahman. That, so whenever we are speaking English, or if you hear an English discourse, the term used will be Brahman. Whereas if you are using Hindi or Sanskrit, it is Brahma. Sanskrit person will not use the word Brahman, because that is a root, he will not use it.
Okay.
He will use only Brahma, and in English they will not use Brahma, they will use Brahman always. Keep this in mind.
Okay.
The two are the same. So in English it is written here in the book Brahman. But if I say Brahma, I am using the Sanskrit word. So now the knowledge of the ultimate truth oblique self knowledge is the knowledge portion of the Brahma. It answers the fundamental questions of life like who am I? What did we start with? That the ultimate happiness is I myself. And I am looking for happiness. So what does it become? Who am I? ठीक है, लॉजिकल है ना सारा? ओके। व्हाट इज माई गोल इन लाइफ? वी स्टार्टेड विद दिस ओनली। it liberates individuals from the limitations of worldly existence. Why? Because in the world you are only having limited joy. You want unlimited, you have to get associated with yourself. So limited जो joy वाला संसार है उससे आपकी liberation हो गई. उस limited joy में आपको sorrows ही sorrows है. You show me the joy, I'll show you the sorrow of the joy of the world. Right? This portion which deals with Brahman is called Gyan Kand or Upanishad or Vedanta.
Okay.
So Vedanta is also part of Vedas. Karma Kand is also part of Vedas.
Yes.
Upasana is also Vedas. But they all deal with three different categories. Karma Kand, you ask, you get. Upasana, you propitiate the lords, Devis, Devatas. And Gyan Kand, know about yourself.
कर्म उपासना एंड ज्ञान.
ठीक है जी. ये है ये. यस, टेल मी.
अरुण जी, जब हमने ब्रह्मा और ब्रह्मन जो भी आपने
हाँ.
बोला, so basically when we say Brahman, so it is knowledge of ultimate truth.
Yeah, or knowledge of ultimate truth. Yes, or knowledge of ultimate truth. Whether it is Atma or Brahma, it is the same. We'll come to that also. This book will talk about it. But just because you have raised this question, so I'm telling you, you call it Brahma, you call it Atma, it is the knowledge of the ultimate reality.
And one more interruption. When you say Karma Kand, it is basically the dharmic gain. But that could be for anybody, like say a person who's even stepping out to work.
Yeah.
So what are the principles he should follow?
Yes.
Somebody staying at home, how should they conduct themselves?
Absolutely.
So that's what
Yes. Absolutely. So anything that is connected to Jeev, Jagat and Ishwar.
Ishwar, okay.
ईश्वर की आप उपासना करते हो.
हाँ जी.
और जगत से आप गिव एंड टेक करते हो.
गिव एंड टेक करते हो, ठीक है, गॉट इट.
सो कर्मकांड उपासना.
ओके, गॉट इट.
In a dharmic way. Maybe you can get wealth by murdering somebody and stealing his money, but that will not be talked of in Vedas.
Yeah.
It will be all dharmic. How to do things in a honest, righteous manner.
Righteous way, yeah.
Okay. The three basic texts that a student of Vedanta studies from a guru are the Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
So these are the three basic Vedantic texts, right? They are called Prasthan Treyi. Treyi is three. Prasthan is the basic. Prasthan Treyi.
Yeah.
The new initiates, if they were to begin with these texts right away, would find them difficult to comprehend. And therefore, they are first taught introductory texts, Prakaran Granth. These books explain the basic concepts of Vedanta in simple terms, without going into any argumentation of various philosophical thoughts.
Okay.
जिसको सोच के समझ के दीवान साहब डर गए. So he is right, Vedanta is a very heavy subject. But to make it light, we are studying a Prakaran Granth, which is Tattvabodha or Bhaj Govindam. They are not the high-fi Vedantic philosophies. अभी तक आपको तत्व उसमें भज गोविंदम में कोई प्रॉब्लम थोड़ा ना लगी?
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं.
Very
because आप टीचर हो हमारे.
नहीं, वो बात नहीं है. It's a very smooth sailing.
Yes, it is.
और ये तत्वबोध में भी जो concepts लगते difficult हैं, अप्राप्त से प्राप्ति, and but they are actually very simple things.
Yeah.
Yes. So this book will give you definitions which will become the building blocks for studying Vedanta in future.
Okay.
But these definitions will not change. your understanding will deepen.
Understanding is, yeah.
That will deepen with time. But कल आप ये नहीं सोचोगे जीव क्या है, आत्मा क्या है,
क्या है,
ब्रह्म क्या है. ब्रह्मन क्या वर्ड आ गया, मैं तो ब्रह्म जानती थी, ब्रह्मन कहाँ से आ गया. So both Brahma in Sanskrit and Brahman in English, they refer to the same. So Tattvabodha, authored by Adi Sankrachharya, is an introductory text which expounds the essence of Vedanta and its terminology in a simple question-answer style. This is a Prakaran Granth. The commentary is meant to further simplify our study. एक commentary जो है ये स्वामी तेजोमानंदा जी की है. This is meant to further simplify. अभी हमने शुरू नहीं करा है text. This was the introduction. We'll start the text tomorrow, inshallah.
Yeah.
And any
what
questions?
In case I'm going to talk to Admiral Diwan,
हाँ जी, हाँ.
and first chapter I'll probably, if he's keen, I will probably go across and do it with him.
हाँ.
And if he wants to join, then he can start with us from tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I'll
That
go through this and those few points I will just.
Absolutely. And you can share this link that I have shared with you.
Yes.
The same link will work. Share on his personal WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Is more than welcome, and you can help him download a Kindle version. And order a hard copy. It will come in a 3-4 days time. But और ये
we will have it every day or what? I mean, what are our?
अभी क्या है, हम कल बात करते हैं इसके बारे में. हम एक भज गोविंद पढ़ रहे हैं, भज गोविंदम. ठीक है? नहीं, मंडे से. वैसे भी हम कर रहे हैं, भी एक हमारे मेंबर गए हुए हैं, तो भी टुक अ ब्रेक. तो 6:30 is the time fixed for भज गोविंदम.
Yeah.
So now we have an option. Either do 3 days Bhaj Govindam and 3 days Tattvabodha.
I think that is better.
Or we do Bhaj Govindam at 6:30 and Tattvabodha at 5:30 in the evening. Every day.
No, that will be too much. कुछ होता है ना घर में.
कुंदा आंटी, आपने भज गोविंदम किया हुआ है?
नहीं, कभी नहीं.
आपको हम लोग ना, we have already done about 8 verses in it.
Okay.
So
8 verses you have done. I'll just read it. No?
I know it has the translation also under each verse. So should we share that Google link, Arun ji?
हाँ, definitely वो Google link. अभी first of all let's talk about it. So अभी अनिल जी से भी बात करनी पड़ेगी. We are going to make this change.
Because he may want to do this every day, that Bhaj Govindam thing.
हाँ, नहीं, वो उनको कोई ऐसा फर्क नहीं है, because हम लोग जो है कोई टेक्स्ट नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं. Honestly, we are just doing satsang.
Right.
तो वो text is just the color to keep us rooted around something.
हाँ जी.
हाँ, अभी the beauty is वेदांत में ज़्यादा कुछ है नहीं. यही आत्मा है और यही ब्रह्म है और यही सब कुछ है. आप भज गोविंदम के थ्रू जान लो या तत्वबोध के थ्रू जान लो, उसी को जानना है. तो हमको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता हम भज गोविंदम करें या कुछ है. It's a
we are together and we are doing a satsang and sharing our thoughts, ideas.
ठीक है. So I'll talk to him. If he says कि नहीं भज गोविंदम ही करते हैं, तो then we can do 5:30 to 6 o'clock 3 days a week for the sake of Kunda Amma. Huh? Those 3 days she can decide.
3 days. No, you can keep both, like 3 days this, 3 days that. तो मतलब कभी एक मिस कर गया.
I agree with you. We can do that. But अगर if other members feel कि we should do it every day, then we can have Tattvabodha 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. 3 days a week Tattvabodha and 3 days a week Bhaj Govindam.
नहीं, I am saying
every day.
I am saying if somebody other members say नहीं करना ही हर रोज भज गोविंदम, in that case we'll do Tattvabodha 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Otherwise 3 days ये कर ले.
I'm okay with that.
ठीक है ना?
Yeah.
चलिए. So I'll do the
6:30.
6:30. अभी तो 6:30 है. अगर दोनों करेंगे एक ही दिन में तो फिर एक 5:30 पे हो जाएगा, एक 6. We'll talk about it on tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, ना?
नहीं,
tomorrow is Saturday. Today is Friday.
हाँ, tomorrow is Saturday, ना? So we are meeting tomorrow at 6:30, doing Tattvabodha, and by that time I should have spoken with.
And also we'll speak with Admiral, so that every time we don't have a new member, then we have to start all over
again. So you can do this introduction with him, and we'll start with the text straight away tomorrow.
That also we can think about morning. अभी तो मैंने सोचा नहीं. How we can plan? You were saying na 6:30 in the morning.
Also, that was one possibility.
That was one. Let us see if I can organize things little.
हाँ.
Yeah, 6 बजे is too early.
हाँ.
6:30 is okay.
ठीक है.
थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है, वॉक करने जाना है, ये करना है, ये सब होता है ना सुबेरे.
चलिए, तो अभी हम क्लोज करते हैं. I'll say the closing prayer. ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम. Thank you everyone. Wonderful joining with you.
बहुत अच्छा लगा.